Let's say you have a verse or a chorus, vocals, all right? And sometimes, vocals overlap. So you have the end of the phrase and then the beginning of the other phrase. These are gonna be 2 tracks, and probably they're gonna be like 4 or 5. Hello everyone, welcome back to McSolaar TV. Hope you're having a great day. I brought back the rapid fire Q&A. So in this series of videos, I'm gonna answer your questions. Before we start, please check the info box down below for my mixing courses on Pro Mix Academy, free plugin special discounts and offers, and if you want to support the channel. But most important, if you really want to learn how to mix and master professionally, click the join button down here, become a MixBuzz TV member and access the already big and always growing library of in-depth mix and mastering courses, videos and tutorials, full mixes, breakdowns from start to finish, mastering courses with all the settings for my analog gear and plugins, special videos and a lot more. You also get mix consultations with me via Skype or email. Next question, Dan J. Wilkund. I hope I'm not butchering the name. Do you bus multi-mic'd instrument or multiple tracks with no intention of panning, such a kick, drum, snare, bass, or vocals to a mono or a stereo bus for further processing? Yeah, if you're familiar with any of my courses or my mixing videos, I group everything. And pretty much this is the standard. It's not my technique, is a little bit different than others because of my zero fader thing. Actually, I kind of mix top down. So I do my gain staging. I start with my 2-bus processing at the beginning of the mix after gain staging, and then I start grouping things. The first thing that I do is just I color code the tracks. Drums all green goes to the drum bus, the basses go to the bass bus, vocals, lead, all the lead go to one place, and same for the rest. If you mix in analog, this comes very natural. Okay, let me explain you why. Because let's say you have a verse or a chorus, vocals, all right? And sometimes, vocals overlap. So you have the end of the phrase and then the beginning of the other phrase. These are gonna be 2 tracks, and probably they're gonna be like 4 or 5. For the lead vocal, so this is one performance, it just happens to be on different tracks. You wanna use your distressor, compressor, one of them, okay? If you don't bus all these lead vocals to one bus, mono in this case, and you send it to a distressor, you would need 5, 6 distressors just for that. So you understand, your drum bus, you want to use one compressor on your drum bus. So you bus everything to it and then you run it through, I don't know, my Fatso or any other compressor that I have. So when you mix analog, this comes natural because you don't have, for the most part, 200 channels of analog gear. And so you bus things thinking that way, thinking exactly that. What is going to be my processing on that instrument? And for instrument, drums is comprised of kick, snare, and all the other instruments in the drum, right? If you look at any of my mixes, that is usually the group. The bus is the bulk of my processing. There's very little. If you look at my, let's say I mix a rock or metal piece and there are like 12 or 16 guitar tracks for the rhythmics, okay? There's usually nothing on the single channels, even because at that point you start messing EQ with the single channels, your phase is gonna be all over the place. And if you have multi-mic'd instruments, that's a big no, all right? Like I explained many times before. So the bulk of the processing in that case is on the bus, on the summing bus, because it doesn't matter how many tracks those rhythmic guitars have. At the end is one instrument. I want to sound it like one instrument, of course. And also it's not just for the processing on the group, but it's also when you send to effects, you want to send the entire instrument. It's just a matter of session management. You don't want to, if you want to send your background vocals to a reverb or a delay, you don't open 15 or 20 sends, you send the bus. It's just more practical, unless you have to do something that requires you to do so. So it's not a rule, but sometimes, if you need to send the one instrument or element in the mix that is comprised of 10, 12 tracks, yeah, you bus it and send it to wherever you need to send it. Hope this answered the question.
Hands on my neck, hands grip my throat. Lift me up, man, take control.